What's up, beautiful children of God, fellow earthlings? How are you doing today? Welcome back to the channel. I am Y311H. Together, we shall be going through some interesting, mind-blowing, creepy videos that might make you rethink reality, while at the same time, spreading our message of honesty, forgiveness, unity, peace, and love to the whole world. But first, child of God, we have to set our hearts, minds in the right way, the way of truth. With a word, my friend, of wisdom from the guide of life. This book here. In today's verse comes from the book of Psalms, chapter 51 and verse 1. This is what it says. The mighty one, God, the Lord, speaks. Oh, that is 50. Sorry for that, it's 51. Have mercy on me, O God, according to your unfailing love, according to your great compassion. Blot out my transgressions, wash away all my iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions, and my sins is always before me. Against you, you only, have I sinned and done what is evil in your sight, so that you are proved right when you speak and justified when you judge. Surely I was sinful at birth, sinful from the time my mother conceived me. Surely the inner parts you teach me wisdom in the inmost place. Cleanse me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Let me hear joy and gladness. Let the bones you have crushed rejoice. Wonderful. A message of forgiveness. Good vibes souls. Let's say a short quick prayer before we dive in. Wonderful Father, maker of heaven and earth, Prince of peace, Father, mighty ruler, we come before you today in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, Father. Thank you, dear Lord, for your breath in us. Thank you for life, dear Lord, Father. Thank you for gathering us together with your precious, beautiful child today, Lord. All glory and honor belong unto you, Father. Thank you for the words from the book of wisdom, Father. Forgive us all our sins, dear Lord, through your mercies. And through this video, Father, we pray that you might transform this viewer's life, Father. Feed them with your love, Father. Lead them in your paths. Help them to see things in a different way, Father, and give them hope. And as you do great things for them, Father, include us too. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Let's dive in, child of God.
Honestly, I get it. All of these dimensions are so confusing, so let me explain 1 through 5. So, first dimension, what is it? This is the first dimension. This line itself, a singular line, that is dimension 1. It is point A to point B. There is nothing else besides it. It is super simple. Second dimension, this is it. It is length times width. That is it. There is no height. That is two-dimensional figure. That is the second dimension. What is the third dimension? It is length times width times height. It is this reality. So basically us. It is height, width, length. So we are 3D. And also time is linear in this reality. What is the fourth dimension? So the fourth dimension is different because it's all of what I just said. But let's look at time. So let's say right here is when we're a baby, and let's say right over here is when we're 100. Okay? This is going to be a little confusing, but I'm going to explain this as best as I can. Let's say we get to age 3 and we think, I wonder what it's going to be like when we're 50. In the fourth dimension, you don't have to go through 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can go through, when you're 3, you can literally go straight to 50 and see what it's like, then go back to 3. It's not linear. You can literally hop between whatever you want. And also, you can hop between what other people are doing. So if you're here and you're like, where's my mom? What is she doing? She's at work. And this is what people call remote viewing. You can hop to see what your mom is doing while she's at work, and you can see through her point of view. So you're not looking at her, you're looking through her eyes and seeing what she's doing at work. So let's say you're here and you're wanting to know what it's like in Paris. So all of a sudden this is how the best it's described to me. When I'm researching NDEs, this is the best way I can see it described, because there's no way to actually describe it in our words. It almost feels like they have to use words from another realm that hasn't been introduced to this world. So imagine if we're in this linear world and then you want to know how to figure out how to find someone. All of a sudden, boop, this pops up because you're trying to find them on this globe. You find their location, you zoom in, and then you look through their eyes. That is the 4D. You are not bound to time and location. Do you see the difference? So in 3D, you have to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 100. And you have length, width, and height. In the 4D, you have length, width, and height. You have 1, 2, 3, whatever you want, but you can have 1, 2, 3, 50, 1, 2, 3, 53, and then go back and forth. Or you can hop between other people's viewpoints. You can see what they're doing. You can see their age. You can actually even see, where are my car keys? Hop into the car keys and feel where it is and see what the car keys are seeing, because remember, everything is connected. So if you hop into the car keys and see, oh, I see the dog is right next to it, then you hop back into your eyes and you look down and see that the dog is in the yard, you find your car keys. That is the 4th dimension. That's why I pulled this out, because it's almost like you start looking at everything all at the same time. I don't know if you've seen that movie, Everything at the Same, that movie. That's what it is. You're not just looking through your point of view anymore. You see literally everything all at the same time at once. The 5th dimension is different. The 5th dimension is literally any doppelganger of you that could ever exist. It is any reality that includes another version of you. That reality, though, has to have the same physics of this one. So it can't be that you're an avatar there that has 20 arms and, 17 million legs. It has to be a reality that's similar to this one. Maybe that reality is your highest self. Maybe that reality is more sped up than this one. So you reach that destination for your goal before this one, but it's not your highest self. Maybe it's slower than this one. Maybe this reality is actually faster than the other reality. And that one, they stayed with that toxic ex and you left that toxic ex maybe 6 months earlier. And that other one is suffering way more. That's the thing. Every reaction you make in this reality has another timeline. Or every reaction you didn't make in this reality has another timeline. Every thought that you've had in this reality has a timeline. Do you guys understand? Everything exists all at once. It doesn't matter if you see it or not. That is the 5th dimension. And anytime you get glimpses, anytime you get deja vu, you are tapping into that 5th dimension. Do you guys get it? Let me know if you have any questions. I know this is a little bit confusing. It's a little bit of a longer video, so I'm trying to shorten it up a little bit. But if you have more questions and you want to know more information, let me know.
Hey y'all, Myra here. You have to watch this video. Watch it in its entirety. Is this the first alien abduction caught on camera, on a ring cam? Or is this somebody messing with us and doing putting together some amazing CGI? I honestly can't answer this one for you. Take a look and tell me what you think. Is this an illegitimate alien abduction caught on camera? I honestly hope and pray this is not. Because whether you want to believe it or not, this will be incredible, validating footage. I'm not here to convince you. You will have to take this away and form your own conclusions. But post, like, comment, tell me what you think. Feel free to share it. Feel free to download it and slow it down so you can see pain by pain. I don't know, y'all.
Before there was GPS, pilots would use these giant concrete arrows to help them navigate across the US, and some of them are still visible today. Back in the 1920s, air mail pilots were struggling to navigate across the country because there were no real maps for them to use. So in order to help, the US government built the Transcontinental Airway System, which was this series of 50 to 70 foot concrete arrows. Each of the arrows was painted bright yellow, and then it was accompanied by a metal beacon with a flashing light at the top. They were placed about 10 to 25 miles apart depending on the terrain, and this allowed pilots to fly these routes day or night. At its peak, there were over 1,500 beacons covering 18,000 miles of airmail routes. Here is one of those routes covering coast-to-coast delivery. These beacons dramatically sped up airmail delivery time and improved reliability. Obviously, our technology has improved, so these beacons eventually became obsolete, and they actually tore most of them down for scrap metal during World War II. But the arrows were pretty much all left, especially in rural areas. So yeah, if you're ever out hiking or flying out over the middle of nowhere, keep your eyes peeled for these giant arrows. And if you've ever seen one of these arrows, let me know in the comments where you were.
My question is, who were and are Jesus, Mohammed, Krishna, Buddha, and why does it seem that they've been carjacked?
I do not believe any of them drove an automobile.
I mean by religion, what we perceive as religion.
Yes. They are reflective representations of the collective consciousness. In a sense, you could say they are the world spirit, the world soul. Does that make sense, first of all? They are reflections of the world spirit. Your entire planet's oversouls all collected into one expression. Each of those are reflections of that idea. Each and every one of them fundamentally were telling you the same message we're telling you now. You are also Christ's, Buddha's, Krishna's, Muhammad's, Wovoka's. You are all the same as them. Every single one of them said that to all of you. But because of the compartmentalization that created disconnection and fear, the majority of your planet could not handle seeing that reflection because it only reminded them of how unlike that reflection they were. And when you are reminded of how unlike your true self you are, and you are compartmentalized in that way, then the reaction from fear that occurs is called resentment. And when you resent being told that you are not who you really know you are, then the fear grows and the resentment grows, and you wind up usually killing the one reminding you of who you are. And also you create the idea of intermediaries saying, well, I know that's a lot to handle, so I'll filter it for you for a small nominal charge. So you create more dissociation, more in-betweeners, and you remove and remove and remove and remove yourselves from the original idea that you are also the same as the messenger.
Replacing my parents' table with a diner booth.
My family hardly ever uses the kitchen table, so today we're replacing it with something with a little bit more class.
What is this? Dude, this is the shit, man. I don't even sit at the table because the seats suck. I would sit at this every day. Think about it. People actually pay like $100 so they can eat dinner at a freaking booth like this. And we get to do it for free. You need to get your mom an apron so she can be the waitress. Over here, take my order, go back there, make my eggs. I don't want them runny. No runny egg. Tell me we're out of orange juice because I buy the orange juice around here. Freaking sick. Have a Coke, but where's my napkin?
I fucking love that you. Where's
Come sit down.
Because I'm hungry.
Fun fact, Mom, you are the waitress, actually.
Oh, shocker. Waitress, the cleaner. This is freaking stupid. It freaking smells. And you keep bringing more shit into my house. Like, these aren't even nice. Like, what are you gonna do with this shit? You're fucking blue. You're fucking ugly. Like, nothing matches with it. Look like I want to be a freaking waitress? Do I look like I want to come home and
No, first of all, on the stuff about the intelligence, this is what a leaker is telling you the intelligence says. That's the game these people play. They read it, and then they go out and characterize it the way they want it characterized, and they're leakers. This is the game they play. So that's number one. Number two, here's a fact. The conversion facility, which you can't do a nuclear weapon without a conversion facility. We can't even find where it is, where it used to be on the map. You can't even find where it used to be because the whole thing is just blackened out. It's gone. It's wiped out. It's wiped out. Then we dropped 12 of the strongest bombs on the planet right down the hole in 2 places. Everything underneath that mountain is in bad shape. And I refer you to the statement of the IAEA, Mr. Grossi. You know what he said? He said there was Iran, the way it looked the day before the attack, and what their nuclear program looks like now. 2 very different things. They are way behind where they were just 7 days ago. Now, anything in the world can be rebuilt. But now we know where it is, and if they try to rebuild it, we'll have options there as well. But all this leaker stuff, these leakers are professional stabbers. That's what they are. They go out and they read this stuff, and then they tell you what it says against the law, but they characterize it for you in a way that's absolutely false. There's no way Iran comes to the table if somehow nothing had happened. This was complete and total obliteration. They're in bad shape. They are way behind today compared to where they were just 7 days ago because of what the president did.
Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of children?
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? No? He did it very affectionate. Daddy, you're my daddy.
Do you regard your NATO allies, though, as kind of like children, and they're obviously listening to you and they're spending more, and you're obviously appreciative of that, but do you hope that actually they're going to be able to defend themselves, defend Europe on their own without...
I think they need help a little bit at the beginning, and I think they'll be able to, and I think they're going to remember this day. And this is a big day for NATO. You know, this was a very big day.
The daddy thing, I didn't call him daddy. What I said is that sometimes in Europe, I hear sometimes countries saying, hey, Mark, will the US stay with us? And I said, that sounds a little bit like a small child asking his daddy, hey, are you still staying with the family? So in that sense, I use daddy, not that I was calling President Trump daddy.
This king of English rants, he's hilarious. He's very, very, very hilarious. Child of God, thanks for watching up to this point. It's been a pleasure being with you. We've had lots of things, other humans living their perspectives on different issues, like the issue of the first dimension, second dimension, the fourth dimension, whatever dimension we are in, my friend. Apparently, we are in the third dimension. But the greatest vibrations is love. If we all are full of love and good vibes, the whole world would be vibrating differently, and there wouldn't be all this chaos. Anyway, what's coming up, my friend, is even more interesting. I hope you stick here till the end and hit that like button so that we spread love together. Peace all the way. More stuff.
Guys, Iran does not need to attack America directly for America to feel it, or for the world to feel it for that matter. Iran's parliament today voted to close the Strait Hormuz. For reference, this is the Strait of Hormuz. It is a vital shipping channel which over 20% of the world's oil flows through daily. If Iran's Supreme Court approves of this, that means that $1 billion worth of oil shipments would be blocked every day, which would cause oil prices to soar. This would cause economic catastrophe. The cost for food and medicine would rise. People who are just making it would fall into extreme levels of poverty. People are getting on TikTok talking about, oh, the US has the best defense system and beating the drums of war. You guys don't understand. You're playing checkers, they're playing chess. Iran has positioned themselves in a very strategic position, and they are using this position to bring global order, to make Israel and the US back down. The amount of boys getting on TikTok going like, I'm ready for war. Like, I just know that you had to sit next to your teacher during class because you stuttered when you read. Shut up. Please shut up. This is the thing about people like this, is that the only time they lock in is when something happens. History does not start when you decide to pay attention.
You say DNA can't be more than 4,500 years old. Why do you say that?
Scientifically, you can't put a date on essentially anything.
Okay.
Nothing comes with a date. You have approximations, but there's multiple things in science that say that DNA has to be young. The mutation rate in humans means we can't be millions of years old. Y chromosome atom, mitochondrial leave only were a few thousand years ago, according to how fast mutations happen. DNA breaks down too quickly after an organism dies, and yet we find it in the ground in old specimens, meaning those things are not millions of years or hundreds of thousands of years old. But biblically, all the DNA that we find is either from the flood, which is about 4,500 years ago, or in the post-flood era. That's why it can't be more than 4,500 years old.
If you are 18 to 25, you are cooked. You going to World War III. If you are 26 to 39, you are still cooked because the age cap's at 39. You going to World War III. If you have ADHD, you are cooked. You are going to World War III. If you have diabetes, congratulations, you ain't going to World War III. If you've ever been put in a mental facility, congratulations, you are not going to World War III. If you are in college, I'm sorry, you are cooked. They actually want you more for the draft because they want to put you in a specialized position. You are going to World War III. If you have a master's degree, you are cooked. If you dropped out of high school, you are safe from World War III. They don't want you. If you are a felon, you are not going to World War III. Now is the best time to be a felon. If you are LGBTQ, I'm sorry, you are cooked. You are still going to World War III. Now, if you're transitioning, you are safe. You are not going to World War III. If you are your only mother's son, I am sorry, you are cooked. You are going to World War III. If you are a woman, you are only half cooked because men are required to go first, but at any time Congress can change legislation if they need more people. If you have kids, you are going to World War III. But if you're actively pregnant, you are not going to World War III. If you have major depressive disorder or severe anxiety, you got to be able to prove, it got to be documented, or you are cooked. If it's not documented, you going to World War III. Like and comment for part 2.
I said, do you have religion? And they said, religion? Isn't that something that's created by man? Do we have faith? Yes, we have faith. Do we believe that there is that which you call God? We accept that based on our science. It's no longer a faith-based idea that there is a creator, that which you call God. That truly is. Do you believe in life after death? Yes, they do. They even have means to communicate with their loved ones. It's not some parlor trick. They really have the means to do it. But there are forbidden questions that you can't ask about what happens after death. Otherwise, you ask that, you're cut off immediately.
Egg intact. You can see everything there floating. I played with it a little bit. It was kind of fun, kind of weird, but cool to see. At the end, I just pop it with my finger. I think that eel wanted to eat scrambled eggs. What a good day.
Oh, hey, Grandma. Yeah, me and Nico, we're just relaxing right now. We're just, hanging out on the couch, watching some TV. We're watching Pip. Then we're probably gonna go outside, maybe take a little walk, and then we're gonna come back in. Maybe we're gonna play a game, and and then we're gonna have dinner. We'll eat, and for dinner, we're probably gonna have some chicken, maybe some green beans.
If you're active with multiple women, you need to be careful of a leg lock. And I know a lot of you guys don't know what a leg lock is. Good on you. Bless your heart. You're lucky. You're one of the lucky few. A leg lock is, let's say you're being physically active, right? Physical intimacy, all that, right? You just bow, you know what I mean? At the point of explosion, let's just call it that, right? She will take her leg, depending on, the position, wrap them around your body and bring you in. So then you can't just go out. You can't just, you're forced to go in there at that point. So how would you get out of something like that? Okay, realistically, don't do that. But what you can do You know Tien from Dragon Ball, how he does this with the tri attack or whatever? You do it like you're about to give somebody CPR. You push, and then you push yourself back. Whoosh, whoosh. You know what I mean? But you gotta act fast because obviously you're mid explosion. You gotta act fast on something like this. And once you successfully get out of this, you're resilient, you're smart, so I know you can get out of this. Delete her number, block her. You might even have to call the authorities. For safe measure, enlist her into the army or some shit. You don't want to be around that anymore, okay? That's dangerous. I have unfortunately had to deal with this about, I was gonna say 2 times at the most. But to be fair, I should have known it because around the second occasion, she was talking about, I wonder what our kids would look like. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And I mean, that was the end of that after that. But I learned my lesson. I came out with no kids, so I say a win is a win, man. Join that Discord, follow the Twitch at DAJ Grand Caravan, and sub to the YouTube, man.